This January on Animax. Hunter x Hunter. All new episodes. Witness the final chapter of the epic saga. Little battlers experience wars. The battle for the future begins now. Strike the blood when forbidden love is bound by fate. Inari Con. Is magic the formula for love? All this January on Animax.
Welcome, Summoners, to the Pro Gaming Series Spring Season Week 6. To represent ourselves, I am GS Asteroid with an I, and alongside here with me
is GS Meep.
Yes, the comeback of Meep. Alright guys, so schedule for today is...
Alright, let's take a look at the schedule. From 6 to 8 PM, we will be having War Gods Pairing Disguise Diamond facing off against Pacific Esports.
Yes,
that will be a best of 2
Yes, best of 2 series. Alright, after that, 8 to 10 PM, it will be Imperium Pro Team versus Imperium Pro Team Blue. The sister teams battle it out.
Yeah, that'll be a really exciting matchup, and let's take a look at the standings. So, we do see here that Mineski Globe has had a really dominant performance so far. 3-win spree with 9 points in the lead. Followed by that, we do see that Pacific Esports has 4 points. And we do have a 5-way, I believe that's a 5-way tie, right?
Yeah,
between
I think so.
Naga,
Actually,
GameX, War Gods.
It's 4-way.
Oh yes,
yeah,
4-way tie
there
between Naga Esports, GameX, War Gods, Imperium Pro Team Blue, and J2 Esports Betrayal. And at the back, we do have Imperium Pro Team with 2 points, followed by War Gods Pairing Disguise Diamond.
Yes, and now we are going into the ban and pick phase of Game 1 in the best of 2 series. War Gods Pairing Disguise Diamond versus Pacific Esports. So, Meep, what is your input in Diamond? I mean, they have a...
So, yeah, Diamond's had a pretty shaky start, and they have replaced their AD carry. So, Eben, the old AD carry, has been switched. Oh, actually, it looks like that Shura will not be playing, and it will be JD in that support role with Eben as the AD carry. Last PGS, we did see that JD was playing AD carry along with Shura for the support. However, this time, it looks like we will be having JD as their support with Eben making a return in that AD carry position.
Also, I believe Diamond said that later, Game 2, they will have Shura back.
Oh, yeah, so it might be a new strategy, just testing the waters, since they are at the bottom of the ladder. And at this point, you need to do whatever you can to try to get back in. So you gotta experiment with your players and see what works best for your team.
Yes, very true. So as we see now that Diamond banning out the Oriana and the Cho'Gath. As for Pacific Esports, banning out the Aurelia and the Janna.
Yeah, so that Cho'Gath ban, definitely a target ban towards Nids. We have seen that Nids has actually played Cho'Gath in 2 of his 4 PGS games, and a pretty dominant performance. Cho'Gath being one of his favorite picks. And we did see that the Oriana ban was targeted towards Oni. Oni had a really dominant performance with Oriana, however, in, I believe it was against Betrayal. However, it was taken away from him, so yeah.
Yes, and of course, guys, you do know that this is the first time that we are lifting the ban onto Rek'Sai, so he is available for the competitive scenes, and Pacific Esports immediately banning him out.
Yeah, so Rek'Sai has been pretty strong so far in solo queue.
Yes.
And from my experience, Rek'Sai is just a really strong jungler. Strong, really fast clear, really fast counter jungling, really fast ganks, and it's just a really good pick overall. And I guess Specific just doesn't want to deal with that.
Yes, and also for you Rek'Sai players out there, you should use him, abuse him right now in the 4.21 patch, because in the 5.1 patch, he'll be nerfed. Yes, he will be nerfed.
I believe that he is getting tweaked a bit.
Yes, also for War Gods, they did get the pick onto the LeBlanc. I think that will go to Nage.
Yeah, that is Nage's one of Nage's favorite picks actually, and he has had a really strong performance on that LeBlanc. And yeah, wow, Annie's being hovered over
by needs.
And that could actually go anywhere, I guess. It could be in that top lane, it could go to Oni in that mid lane, or it could even go to Astarte in that support role.
Yes.
We have been seeing a resurgence of Annie in that support position.
Yes.
I believe in OGN and in LPL, there have been a couple Annie supports, so we might see one here today.
Yes. Might be. Yes, there we go. They pick up the Annie and the Jarvan for their first picks. As for War Gods, now hovering over a Rengar. So, wow.
Yeah, Meme going for that Rengar pick. That definitely is one of would follow with Meme's playstyle. Going for that strong gank. Like he played a lot of Skarner earlier, and this Rengar is another one of those strong gankers. However,
but
it looks
Alright, so yeah, but still, keep going with your
yeah, so it looks like Sejuani is being hovered instead, and Sejuani has been seeing a rise in popularity in solo queue and in tournament play. Sejuani is a really popular pick, being able to do so much damage and have so much CC, yet at the same time so tanky. Yeah,
you don't need to build her damage items to do damage.
Yeah, and it looks like with 5 seconds on the clock, this will most likely be a Sejuani pickup for Meme.
Yes, sorry about that. Alright, you can see right now that for War Gods, they also got the Graves ADR for Ethan. Oh, sorry, Eben.
Yes. So, Graves AD carry, once again, a really safe pick coming in for that War Gods Pair in Disguise team. Really strong performance. That burst is really potent in the early game, in the late game, and it's just a really good pick along with that True Grit, making him pretty tanky as well.
Yes. As for Pacific Esports, Luxuria and Oni, actually they weren't able to ban out a Gnar. Gnar's actually a really strong top laner if he is picked by anyone, because that when he turns in that Mega Gnar and then his combos really devastating with that 5-man ultimate into the wall.
Yeah, I believe I was looking at an article earlier, and Gnar was actually the most contested champion in the OGN series, being picked or banned every single game. So it looks like this will be going towards Nids, and let's see how well Nids can perform on this champion.
Yes, as for Pacific Esports, they were hovering over something else, but now might be the Caitlyn pick for Luxuria.
Yeah, it was a Kalista initially, however it has been switched over to a Caitlyn.
Yeah, so
trying to go for that dominant laning phase, I guess.
Yeah, so is Luxuria one of his favorite champions is the Caitlyn?
Yeah, Caitlyn is definitely one of his favorite champions. Alongside, he's known in solo queue as a Lucian god, and Caitlyn is also one of his really strong picks, and he's playing that right now.
Yeah, as for War Gods, they're actually hovering over a support, Morgana I believe, and then possibly a top lane. I think it might be one of the top lane tanky champions that they might go in for, because or Nidalee actually, sorry.
So the only time about this Nidalee pick, the only time that Ethan has actually had a positive KDA in the pro gaming series was when he was on his Nidalee. During the first week of PGS, he played Nidalee against Imperium Pro Team and actually went 8-3-15, I believe, against the top laner Hero. So, but it has been switched over to that Rumble. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see that.
So he did go in for that. Let's say not super tanky, but tanky bruiser.
Yeah.
In the top lane, I went with the Rumble.
Rumble is a pretty safe pick, and Ethan's played Rumble twice in this pro gaming series, and that will help with the team comp that Diamond has already established. They have a really strong pick with a really strong engage, so once they get the pick onto anyone, once that Sejuani ult hits or once that Dark Binding hits, Rumble will be able to follow up with that equalizer.
Also, is Tormented Soil, the W of Morgana, still does that magic armor, magic penetration?
I believe it does not actually.
Oh, before it. I think
Yeah,
it
before
did.
it used to shred.
Yeah, so if they had it, if they still had it actually would be a nice combo along with the equalizer and the lockup of Sejuani with her ultimate. So, but still, the engage, like you've said before, is in favor of War Gods. Oh, sorry, of Diamond.
And
It's War Gods Fair in Disguise, eh? And I'm really looking at their awesome logo right now.
yeah, but something to point out is we were right about the prediction that Annie is going to Astarte, so that will be an Annie support in that bot lane.
And it will be
Ezreal mid.
Ezreal mid.
So that's a really interesting team comp coming in from that Pacific side.
Yes, I was looking before. They were hovering over the Fizz, so I thought that Oni might actually go in for that mid lane Fizz, because against a LeBlanc, it will actually be a nice counter against her all-in damage, just because of the playful / trickster to let's say dodge the follow-ups from that combo of LeBlanc.
Yeah, however, it looks like that will instead be an Ezreal, and Ezreal will be able to provide that really strong poke. So they will be able to poke out and zone out the enemy team with that Caitlyn Ezreal combo. Caitlyn with that really long range of 550 alongside Ezreal's mystic shots will be able to zone them out. Then if they get close, they'll just get a Tibbers into their face, followed up by that Cataclysm and that Gnar ultimate.
Yes, so both teams having that, let's say, team-based composition, but also they have the pick-off. With of course the stun coming in from the Annie, and then for Team Diamond the binding and the ultimates coming in from Morgana and Sejuani, and then there's the burst from Naughty's LeBlanc. So there's in my opinion it's like let's say similar in terms of like I've said before, the team compositions.
However, in terms of initiating and team fighting, I have to say that Diamond has the better team comp. If you compare the initiates that Diamond has compared to Pacific, the Sejuani ultimate, the equalizer from Rumble, and the Dark Binding is just more reliable compared to the EQ combo Cataclysm from Jarvan, or the Gnar ultimate, Bounce Gnar ultimate, or the Tibbers. And I feel like this will give Diamond the upper hand coming into this game.
Yes, also, like you've said, it's not too reliable because Gnar's, let's say, passive is, if you don't calculate it well, you're gonna have a Mega Gnar before the battle or after the battle, and you're not gonna be able to use it when you really want it. So you have to be very careful to measuring that, let's say, rage meter in order to really utilize the kit of Gnar.
Yeah, it definitely separates the great Gnars from the good Gnars from the great Gnars, and being able to make effective use of that rage and control it properly, it will be pretty important for Nids in this matchup.
Yes, very true. Also, I'm seeing right now, like you've said before, Pacific is going in for that aggressive type of bottom lane duo with the Annie and Caitlyn. Of course, Caitlyn does outrange Graves like quite a margin, and then she has the mobility and of course, like you said again, the range to dodge the dark bindings of Morgana. So there might be a lane swap coming in by Diamond to, let's say, avoid that confrontation in the bot lane.
I actually think that it might be beneficial for Pacific to actually be the ones that engage in the lane swap, seeing as they have picked up that Gnar. And if you look at the recent statistics from the past games, it looks like the Diamond team is really reliant on that bot side. So actually, rather that the Diamond bot lane is the weaker link of the team. So like giving Gnar against the Diamond bot lane and putting up Luxuria and Astarte in the top lane will allow them to shut down Ethan, while letting Diamond just keep their weak bot lane, since they won't really capitalize on that.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Also, having the Gnar and Rumble, like you've said, switch their be 2v1'd by Pacific, actually be a better option for Gnar, just because when you have that level 6, you don't need the damage from him rather than getting farm on the Rumble. So it's more better, like you've said before, for Pacific to do the lane swap themselves.
Yeah, however, we will see, but my hunch is that both teams will opt to go for a standard laning phase without any lane swaps. And looks like we're in the loading screen. And
Alright, so guys, before we start into the game, again, we would like to invite you to join the PGS Drift G Talk That is the PGS Rift family. Like we've said before, the G-Talk ID is Neep, please. For us?
The G-Talk ID is 171-888-11, and that is in your Garena G-Talk.
Yes, again, that's 171-888-11. For you guys who wants to talk with the PGS Rift family, again, there are the GSs there. There are also pro players who hang out, play with the, I believe the, of course, the audience or the members there. Also, sometimes, if you guys are a fan of, I believe, GG Sphere, he also sometimes plays.
Yeah, the
us.
Garena employees
Yes,
often
the Garena
hang out around
employees.
there. So if you
GM
want to get to know the people that work behind the
GM
scenes,
Robs, yes, every one of them. Alright, guys. So, also, we would like to invite you to our Facebook page. That is the Pro Gaming Series page. Again, that Pro Gaming Series page. Again, that is www.facebook.com/Pro Gaming Series. That's also the PGS Rift official group. Just type it in, search it. I believe the tag for that is www.facebook.com/groups/PGS Rift. And then also,
watch and win.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, guys, make sure you guys watch the game, as after this best of 2 series, we will be having our watch and win promo. For those of you who do not know what it is basically at the end of the best of 2 series, we will be asking you a question on the Pro Gaming Series Facebook page regarding the games that were played, and the first 5 winners to answer correctly with the format answer space your IGN in LOL will be walking away with that 500 RP directly loaded to their accounts.
Yes. Also, again, after that, we also want you to join our Twitter and Instagram. So if you have a Twitter and Instagram, to see actually what we're posting there is the, let's say, the inner workings of the Garena teams. That's at PGS LOL, both of them at PGS LOL. And now we are going into the Rift.
And yes, it looks like there is a pause at the moment as both teams are waiting for some issues to be sorted out.
That's my bad. Sorry. There we go. Alright, so again, to recap, we do have for Diamond, Ethan in the top lane Rumble, Meme for the jungle Sejuani, Nage for the mid lane LeBlanc, Eben for the ADR Graves, JD for our support Morgana, and for Pacific Esports, Neep, please.
Yes, for Pacific Esports, we will be having Nids in that top lane, Batum as the Jarvan in the jungle, Oni playing Ezreal in that mid lane, followed by Luxuria on that Caitlyn, and Astarte on the Annie in that bot lane.
So, first time I've seen Gnar, just because he hasn't been banned out, and first time with the Ezreal mid lane, and first time for the support Annie.
Yes, and it'll be really interesting to see how Pacific plays this out. But one thing to point out is, like we mentioned earlier, Shura is not playing. Shura is considered to be the captain and the brains behind this Diamond team. So it'll be really interesting to see how well Diamond will be able to perform without Shura. And it'll be most likely Meme taking the initiative and leading the team.
Yes.
And I haven't seen JD play support actually. I know he had a pretty decent AD carry run last week in the PGS. However, we'll see how well he performs as that Morgana.
Yes, also I've heard before that JD is a ADR only champion player for League of Legends. So I'm really surprised to see him in that support role. Alright, so we can see right now that the junglers again are the Sejuani for Meme and B2 with the jungler Jarvan. So in terms of the startups, I believe B2 will go in for that red buff start and then go in for those early level 2 ganks, just because Jarvan has that potential to do so.
Yeah, however, looking at the Diamond teams, it's pretty difficult to get a gank off in that early game. We do see that Diamond does have the black shield in that bot lane and the dark binding, making it pretty easy to stop a gank. And in that mid lane is LeBlanc, who does have that distortion, so it will be pretty difficult for Batum to get a successful gank off. However,
yes,
the Pacific coordination between the players is pretty solid, as we've seen in the past. So I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to pull it off.
Yes, also I believe, like you've said before, they would have a difficult time ganking the teams, the lanes of Diamond. But sometimes when you gank someone, having not getting the kill but forcing the flash out and forcing them to recall is actually a big,
it's definitely a huge benefit.
Yeah, huge benefit for the ganking team. Just because you force them out of the lane, meaning that they're gonna lose the experience, the gold, and of course the pressure in the lane. So that mid laner, for example, would be able to roam around top or bottom if he pushes in fast, and then that's about it.
Yeah, and seeing how the Diamond jungler is a Sejuani isn't really that fast in the jungle, so if Batum does decide to go for that level 2 gank, he won't be punished by counter jungle since it's a Sejuani, as compared to if there was a Lee Sin on the enemy team who would be able to counter jungle.
Yes, there we go, and a summoner has reconnected, and this might be the game about to unpause. Alright, so for the top lane matchups, who do you think would actually win it out? The Rumble or the Nord? Just because of the champions, what is your input in that?
I feel like Gnar has the advantage in the lane just because of the range, as well as it's really easy to like walk away from the Flame Spitter, seeing as you have that boomerang which can slow, and you also have that bounce, so it's really hard for Gnar to get into your face and just get the Flame Spitter and the electric harpoons onto you, and that's the majority. That's all of Rumble's damage actually. So yes.
Actually, wait, I'll just try to see if the sounds are a bit too loud for us. There we go. Alright, so like you've said before, Gnar does have that advantage over a Rumble. But how about the mid lane? I mean, it's the first time I'm seeing right now in the competitive scenes a mid lane Ezreal against a mid lane LeBlanc.
Yeah,
so
in the beginning of the preseason actually, right when 4.21 rolled around, 4.20 rolled around, we actually saw Faker in that OGN play Ezreal mid to a really effectively. However, against the LeBlanc, I feel like the lane will go in favor of LeBlanc, seeing as Ezreal is pretty squishy, and they got spotted out by that ward.
And with that Tormented Soul, I believe he got the max gold out of that, and let's check. Yes, there we go, 530.
So if he wanted, he could go ahead and buy an extra potion.
Oh yes. Oh
no, he's short by
yeah, 15. Alright, so very nice early warding coming in from Diamond to spot out the invade coming in from Pacific Esports. Right now we can see that both teams are just opting to go in for the defensive openers, just checking in the entrances of their jungles so that we don't see any cheese coming out of coming in from both teams.
Yeah, the Pacific early invade was spotted out by that ward in that tri-bush, so Pacific was forced away to just start standard.
Yes, also I would like to point out that for the supports, JD got in that early sight ward, vision ward, while got that mana potion.
So yeah, that'll be actually pretty interesting to see how it pans out. Annie is pretty mana heavy, seeing as you have to spam that disintegrate and you have to spam that incinerate. So we'll see how well this Annie works out, seeing as it's been a while since we've seen Annie play at I believe the last time Annie was viable was back in Season 3 Worlds, when Tabe, was it?
I'm not sure.
The support player of Royal had a really dominant performance on that Annie support.
I see. And while we were talking about that, both ADRs of these teams are getting a lot of poke in the bot lane. Already at half HP for Lusoria and Eben, and Astarte is just spamming his Q already with that passive up. While here's the level 2 gank like I've said before, and like you said, Nage just distortions away.
So that is the problem.
Yes, here comes the stun onto Eben. There's the damage. Will they force the flash out? Yes, both of the ADRs flashes out. Force the heal also from these two ADRs. So wow, already lots of action in the bot lane.
Yeah, so we kind of we kind of missed how that started. However, it seems to be Eben just getting surprised by the stun coming in from Annie.
Yes, you have to count in that Annie stun to be able to, let's say, look ahead against it.
Yeah, however, with that,
he did force him out of the lane. So like we've said before, even though if you don't get the kill, it's still viable because you're forcing him out of the lane to lose that experience and gold.
Yeah, and seeing how this is a Caitlyn Annie lane, it will be really difficult for Eben to recover from this.
I was seeing that Bitum's health was super low in HP right now. I thought he was about to die to the Krugs there. But while that is happening, you saw there that Mega Gnar is just bullying the Galactic Rumble?
Yeah,
there you go, the Galactic Rumble out of the lane.
And what's interesting to point out is Batum just recalled, and he has picked up that Ranger's Trailblazer and that Pink Ward, that Vision. yeah, the Vision Ward, I believe, and it's interesting to see how he didn't go for that Chilling Smite and went for that AoE Smite instead.
Yes.
So
Maybe he, like you've said before, he already knows that he can't gank the lanes easily just because of the Black Shield, the distortion, and his only option might be the top lane. So he's just opting to go in for that faster jungle clear and then get his level 6 earlier.
I guess so, but the thing is that if you look at the lanes of Pacific, none of the lanes aside from the Annie have a reliable form of CC.
Yes, and while that is happening, here comes B2 and Oni chasing down onto Meme. Here comes Oni in the backline, getting chased by Naga. Here comes the damage onto Oni, but now, ooh, Meme gets the force to flash out of him. B2 uses that Q, but while that is happening, Ethan in the top lane gets the first blood onto Needs. Wow, lots of action coming in from these both teams, and Meme gets that smite steal onto the Tanti.
Yes, the Scuttle Crab was taken away, which will provide the vision for that Diamond team. And meanwhile, in that top lane, I guess Nids got a bit too carried away. His Mega Gnar didn't come up in time. If he, I believe he was like 1 second off from turning into Mega Gnar, and if he did achieve that Mega Gnar status, he probably would have lived. And that's the thing with this matchup. If Rumble is able to get an electric harpoon onto you, and your leap and your boomerang is down, he'll just be able to flame spitter in your face, and just there's not really much you can do about it.
Yes. Also, just a question: when you said that there was a preseason meta to getting in that mid lane Ezreal, is it an AP or an AD Ezreal?
It is a AD Ezreal.
Alright, so
blue build Ezreal. So like,
so we're seeing right now that there is a blue build Ezreal.
yeah, and he did pick up that tier just now.
Yes. Also, I saw in his stats that it didn't have a single shred of AP, so I was pointing out to him being a AD Ezreal. So the duo ADR composition coming out of Team Pacific.
So what it looks, so based on the items, we did see that in the past 5 minutes, 3 members of Pacific have already picked up a pink ward.
Yes, and while that's happening, here comes Eben putting the damage onto Astarte. There's the Dark Binding. Will he get the kill onto him? Yes, he does. Eben with that kill. Here comes the built-over Peacemaker. One more hit will get the kill. Yes, there we go. Lucia gets the kill. Will he be able to go in onto JD? Dodges that Dark Binding. And all is said and done, 1-for-1 exchange in the bot lane.
Yeah, so it looked like Astarte and Luxuria weren't really on the same page during that clash. It looks like Luxuria was just content with farming in that lane, while Astarte was insistent on trying to get that kill onto them, and that caused Astarte to die.
Yes, so the farming to the aggressive. But while that is happening, Meme was able to sneak over in this top brush in the top lane, and I think Needs was having that Spire sense, feeling that Meme was there. He might try to use his boomerang to see it almost into that Mega Gnar form. Does have his level 6, and while that is happening, there is an aggressive opener here by B2 and Astarte in the red side jungle. I think they're just trying to wait someone out there, trying to see if Nage will overextend. And here they are. They're coming in. We'll see right now. Here comes the flag and drag, forces the flash out of Nage, and here comes the teleport by Ethan. Cancels it instantly, and that will be said and done.
Yeah, so what's surprising about this mid lane matchup is that Ezreal's actually ahead in CS by a good amount. 10 CS, 7 minutes in, and it's against what I predicted, as I would have thought that LeBlanc would have been able to just zone out the Ezreal and prevent him from farming properly. So
yeah,
really interesting to see Oni take the lead in this mid lane.
Yeah, but what I was seeing before, like you've said, that Nage would actually pull him out of the lane. He was dodging Nage's skill shots with the Sigil of Silence, and then into that distortion he would just essence shift away, and that's about it.
Yeah, so I guess those mechanics are doing good for Oni. Oni was considered back in Season 2, I believe, the greatest mid laner without a doubt.
Wow.
Well, back when he was on MSI, and I guess those mechanics are still standing.
Yes, and while you were saying that, here comes Nage with a double distortion, putting a lot of hurt onto Oni. Oni now chugging in that potion. Still, the junglers haven't gone into the lanes with a successful gank, in my opinion. I think it's only the gank by B2 that forced the flash out of Nage, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's really difficult to get a gank with this lineup coming in from both sides.
Yes, so I guess when these two junglers get that level 6, that's where the blood will be spilled in in my term.
Yeah, and it actually looks like Meme is already level 6, so it looks like he will be trying to go for that gank now.
Yes.
Yes, he is taking that red buff, and based on the lanes, I believe he might go towards that bot lane and try to force a gank onto Luxuria.
Alright, like you said there. And while that is happening, Nage was able... Ooh, B2 might die to the Raptors there. Here comes Nage, putting a little bit of hurt onto Oni. Oni is healing slowly back up with that one Doran's blade.
Yeah, so Batum likes living life on the edge. Has been pretty low the entire jungle route. And
Yes.
I guess the reason why he's been doing that, it's a Sejuani. Sejuani doesn't really have that counter jungle potential.
Yes. Also, now these two junglers are backing off to get their items that... I believe that's called like a layman's term for it is a Dragon Ball.
Yes, the... What is that item called again?
The Ruby Crystal? No. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
The Kindle Gem.
Kindle Gem, there we go,
Yes.
thank you. I prefer calling it the Dragon Ball because it looks like a Dragon Ball.
Yes, it does indeed look like a Dragon Ball.
Alright, well that is happening. We do see now that for the top laners, Ethan already finished that Seeker's Arm Guard. As for Needs, getting the Hex Drinker to counter out the, let's say, insane burst damage that a Rumble has early on.
Yeah, so looking at the CS, we do see that the bot lane and mid lane does have that CS advantage by a slight CS advantage coming in. However,
Yes.
we do see that there's a 20 CS advantage coming in for that Rumble on Ethan on Rumble, negating that CS advantage in that mid and bottom. So because of this, there is I believe that is a 600 gold advantage in favor of Diamond at the moment.
Yes. So just one gank might actually force it out. Here comes the flag and drag by B2. There's the ultimate. There's the counter engage by Diamond. Here comes all of Diamond crashing down onto B2, and that will be a 1-for-1 exchange. But in favor of, I believe, Diamond, because they might be able to get this first dragon for themselves.
Yeah, Jarvan did die, so this will definitely be a dragon for the Diamond team. Astarte doesn't have ult up, and Nids doesn't have his Meganar, so it'll be really difficult for Diamond to contest this, but they're trying.
Oh, but they were able to push out Meme in the pursuit of that dragon, and wow, they were just really cautious of the burst damage coming in from Pacific with that double ADR combo.
Yeah, I guess Diamond is opting to play it safe, seeing as they are currently at the bottom of the ladder, so they're trying to do their best to, let's say, maintain their advantage and try to take this game slow and steady. And
Yes.
taking a dragon isn't really worth. However, they do need to be careful.
But now, Pacific did restart in that dragon. Will they be able to get it? Meme still not in the vicinity for that smite. Here comes Astarte with that beautiful initiation. JD gets caught out. Oni gets the kill. And will they be able to get the dragon? Yes, they did with the last hit by Astarte. Here comes Naga getting a lot of damage onto himself. There's the equalizer by Ethan. But while that was happening, Meme was able to kill B2. But now, Meme is getting hurt by 3 members of Team Pacific. There's a force to flash out. And Nage will get the kill onto Oni. And that is I believe, a 2-for-1 exchange. And the dragon for Team Pacific. Oh, but Nage with that overextension. Here comes Ethan, overextended again. 2 members of Diamond gets caught out here. There's Needs with the proc on the Hex Drinker, and ooh, Luxuria gets a Rampage.
And yeah, it looked initially to be in favor of Diamond. However, Diamond was pretty split during that team fight, and Pacific was able to capitalize on the overcommitment coming in from Diamond's side, and they were able to slowly pick off each of the Diamond members one by one, starting with Meme, going to Nage, then going to Ethan, and they got the dragon as well. That was a last hit coming in from, I believe that was an auto attack, a 50 damage auto attack coming in from Annie, securing that dragon.
Wow,
So
I thought it was like the Q coming in for her, but yeah, I wasn't able to see that because there was so much action happening.
So-
and
with that, 4 kills. All those kills went on to all those 4 kills went on to Luxuria, and he has picked up that Infinity Edge. And at this point, this will be really huge for this Pacific team.
yes,
And
just because he has that insane amount of damage. And now here comes the opener again with the Tormented Soil into that Dark Binding, misses by an inch. There's the aggressive warding, actually sorry, defensive wardings coming in from both supports on those rushes, just because these junglers strive onto that rush lane ganks.
Yes, indeed. And now there is a little bit of a lull in the action. Both teams just going back to farming. Dragon has been taken, so there's not really any objectives to contest at this point.
Ooh, nice dark binding there. Luxuria will just chug on the potions to heal himself back up, and he does have a Doran's Blade with the help of that Infinity Edge. Slowly but surely will get. Here comes the engage by Astarte. There's the Soul Shackles, will get the damage onto JD. Here comes B2 in the sideline. Eben taking a lot of damage. Here comes Needs for that jump. Does he get the assist? No, he does not. But they were able to get the shutdown onto Luxuria by Eben. So 1-4 exchange. And
So,
oh, sorry. You go ahead.
that's actually really good. That oh, actually, never mind. Hold that thought, as Nage is going in right now.
Yes, you can see right there that Nage is going in onto Needs. There's the ultimate by Meme. Nage taking a lot of damage by these two teams. There's a nice dark binding by JD, and Nage with that kill secure. Very nice counter re-engage by Diamond.
So yeah, Pacific just got a bit too aggressive there, just overstaying a bit, not really aware where Meme was at the moment, and they were just able to capitalize on the over aggressiveness of Pacific. But what I was about to say was that was a really good use of teleport coming in from Nids. Nids actually cancelled his teleport back during that dragon fight, knowing that he couldn't accomplish anything. And when you cancel teleport, the cooldown is reduced by 100 seconds. So
Yes.
he was able to teleport before Rumble could. Because if Rumble had teleport at the same time that Nids did, that would have probably been a definite win coming in for that diamond side.
Yes, and while you were explaining that, there was a true shot barrage coming out of Oni, hitting JD and Nage, almost actually killing JD. Just a little bit more damage would have killed him. And right now, with that over aggression from Pacific, they were able to get the bot tier 1 and top tier 1. Alright, so while that's happening, Luxuria is actually hitting this bot tier 1. Ooh, itemizations coming out of Eben is a Brutalizer pickaxe and BF sword. Here comes Nage for the damage onto Oni. Oh my gosh, Oni takes so much damage, heals out of that. But if Nage did have a flash, I believe he would have killed Oni.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's what I was expecting coming into this Ezreal LeBlanc matchup, and the Tibbers missed.
Here comes the damage from Astarte. Actually, did Luxuria put the hit onto Eben?
No, that
No,
did
so
not
that-
hit.
So that was purely Astarte chunking down Eben to 50% HP. Wow.
Yeah, imagine if that Tibbers actually got the stun onto Evan. That would have definitely been a kill for sure.
Yes, and while that was happening, like what we were explaining before, with the bullying potential of LeBlanc against a mid lane Ezreal.
Yeah, so Ezreal is pretty squishy, like we established earlier, and because of this squishiness, Nage will be able to like burst down Oni really easily in this fights, and Pacific has a lot of squishy targets. If you step back and look at it, they have Luxuria on Caitlyn, Oni on Ezreal, and Astarte on Annie, who are all relatively squishy. And this will be really good, as Nage has several targets to pick off before the team fights start, and this will be really good coming in for the mid and late game
Yes.
for Diamond.
And now a 5v5 face-off from both teams. Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be a 5v5 face-off, but then they just backed off. Alright, so they were a bit afraid of Needs actually getting that rage bar almost to full, because Nor, like we said again, has that annoying ultimate when he's given a chance to use it. But while we talk about that, Dragon will be up in about 7 seconds, so this might be the point of contention for both teams. Ethan does have his teleport up, while Needs does not, so he has that luxury to be able to split push the top lane and then just teleport in the bottom lane, and we're seeing it right now. Here comes Meme. Will he get the steal? No, he will not. He is now caught out, but here comes Meme, and the backside forces the flash out of B2. There's the beautiful equalizer, splitting the team of Pacific. Needs getting caught out. Will he use the ultimate? Yes, he gets. There's the ultimate by Oni, ultimate by B2. But still, Ethan Eben in the backline gets the kill onto B2. A start is super low, but while that is happening, here comes Oni and Needs chasing Ethan. Ethan was able to use his rockets to slow down Oni and, I believe, mitigate the aggression for them. And then there's the flash away into the dark binding fadeaway. Here comes the instant replay. Break it down for us.
So yeah, Annie didn't have ult available, and Nids just decided to go in, seeing as he saw 4 members really close together. Here comes the True Shot Barrage. And the reason why they were unable to win this fight is because look at the position of Annie. Annie was in the back line and unable to do anything. So it was effectively a 4v5 for the majority of the fight. And the exhaust was really critical, and the zoning coming in for, I believe that is JD, was really critical for this Diamond coming ahead 2 for 1, as Luxuria wasn't able to really do anything. Even though all of them were locked up for like 4 seconds, Luxuria didn't really have that damage.
Ooh, there's a nice Dark Binding by JD, and yes, Ethan gets the kill. Also, in the clash, was it a big factor that Luxuria was actually using his ultimate onto JD? Onto Eben, and wasn't auto-attacking anyone that actually didn't have enough damage output?
I believe that is partially it, as that's 2 seconds of attacking. You're effectively losing a significant amount of your DPS by opting to use your
ultimate.
Yeah, using your ultimate rather than auto attacking, and the lack there was just a lack of damage coming in for that Pacific team. And
yes,
you'd think opposite, seeing as Pacific had all of their core items coming into the fight. Ezreal just picked up his Manamune, and Caitlyn has had his Triforce, his Infinity Edge for a while. Well, during that fight, Eben didn't really have his Infinity Edge yet, and he just picked that up right now. And
yes,
Nage didn't have her Deathfire Grasp or Rabadons yet.
Yes, also for Team Diamond, before in the previous matches that I've seen them play, they weren't, let's say they have a lackluster team fight presence, but now, wow, I have to give it to them to have that comeback in these team fights. They are just winning one after the other, and they have now a 3,000 gold lead against Pacific Esports.
Yeah, Ethan's been playing really well right now, actually winning lane against Nids, and
oh my gosh, the damage from Nage gets the kill onto Luxuria in the blink of an eye. Here comes 5 members of Diamond just hammering down onto B2. That was a 2-4-0 exchange, and the red Brumbleback for Eben in favor of Team Diamond. And while that's happening, Oni gets the bot tier 1.
Yes, this is what we were talking about earlier. Nage has so many targets to pick from for that Pacific side, and that's what we just saw right now. Nage just using all of his burst to take down Luxuria in less than 2 seconds.
Yes, here comes the ultimate by Oni. Puts the tower aggro onto Eben there. Here comes the ethereal chains by Nage going on to Needs, but a little bit too far out to go into it. But while that is happening, the rotations from Pacific Esports is giving them the opportunity for Oni to actually hammer down on this bot lane. Here comes Nage onto Astarte. Astarte is super low in HP. Here comes the ultimate by Luxuria. Puts the hurt onto Nage. The ultimate by Needs actually stuns 3 members of Team Diamond. Here comes B2 for the execution kill onto Nage. He is now in Deadman's Land. Will he be able to escape? Yes, he will with the flag and drag out. Here comes Luxuria, just putting a lot of backline damage. And while that is happening, Oni is just hammering down in this bot lane. So Pacific is actually putting a lot of counter engage potential onto Team Diamond. Wow.
Yeah, so really great decision making coming from Oni, and that's the power of LeBlanc. We just saw the power of LeBlanc in this matchup twice actually. First he has assassinated Luxuria, then he assassinated Astarte, and LeBlanc's definitely gonna be a really big problem for the rest of the game.
Yes, but while that was happening, Pacific Esports with that like you said, great decision making into just trying to delay Diamond from backing off, and then Oni was just hitting the bot lanes. He's actually damaged the bot tier 1 almost to 50%, like you see right there. So wow. Alright.
So yeah, there is a really big gold advantage currently, and well, actually the gold advantage is less than 1,000 at this point, despite Diamond being up 5 kills. No, yeah, 5 kills, and this is mainly due to the turrets that we just saw taken in that ball lane and the CS advantage. So we do see that there is a 50 CS advantage coming in for Oni compared to Nage, and there is and it's just the CS coming in from Oni.
Yes, like you've said before. And also, Dragon will be up in about 30 seconds. Ooh, here comes Eben going on to Oni. Oni taking a little bit of poke from him. And ooh, Ethan is getting caught out here. Ethan still doesn't have his Zoe's Hourglass, and here comes 3 members of Pacific will get the kill, but Luxuria super low on HP right now. Here comes Meme for the ultimate. Luxuria with that timely flash saves his life.
Yeah, Luxuria
Oh,
living with a sliver of HP, and now that Meme burned his ultimate, this should be an uncontested dragon coming in for Pacific.
also,
and this will be the 3rd dragon.
yes, third dragon for Pacific Esports. I thought it was going to go for Team Diamond, but then the recounter glitch. Oh my gosh, that Meme with the ballsy go in onto the dragon. He will be forced to flash out. Wasn't able to get it, but super close actually because Needs got the last hit.
Yeah, both players actually missed the smite, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we did see Nage trying to mimic what Oni was doing earlier, trying to push that top lane turret, and was unsuccessful, seeing as Ezreal did have the true shot barrage to clear the wave.
Yes.
And Nids did teleport. I believe Nids teleported to that top lane.
Yes. And while that was happening, also Astarte, I just noticed this, that Astarte actually built that Righteous Glory for himself. So he does have that chase potential and back off with the help of that Righteous Glory. Actually, I didn't say. I thought he was gonna build into that Rod of Ages, but nope. It is the Righteous Glory.
When you're a Annie support, your priorities lie differently compared if you played Annie mid. Rather than just putting out as much damage as you can, your primary goal is to be an initiator, so that Righteous Glory will be able to allow you to just walk up to the enemy team and just tibbers.
Yes. Also, the wardings coming in from both teams are very similar. All jungle entrances wardings and river wardings. Here comes Meme in the side. Will he go in for the engage? No, he will just take that Taunty for himself. And Oni will actually try to split push this bot lane. Nage is in the vicinity, just recalling. But Oni, I think his spider sense is tingling, knows that something is up. Will Nage go in for the kill? And while that is happening, 4 members of Pacific are on this top lane, but does get spotted out by that Taunty ward.
And it looked like Nage opted to back away rather than trying to fight Oni. We do see that Oni has already finished his Muramana and does have that Triforce, which is quite a bit of damage coming in, and it will definitely be really scary if Nage tried to clash with him.
Yes. And now again, Oni is just doing a split push mid style. Well, like I actually have been seeing this before Season 4, Season 3 from competitive scenes, that actually was a Zed mid that actually tried to split push the other lanes, but now it's a Ezreal mid.
And yeah, this is just really good play coming in for Pacific. Pacific having Oni in that bot lane, knowing that no one can really 1v1 Oni at this point, while just having the 4 members of Pacific in that top lane just stalling it out and just probably just gonna go for that disengage if they ever try to engage onto them.
Yes, and Oni's just waiting on this brush. And here comes Meme for the engage. Doesn't stun actually anyone, just a slow. There's the dodge by Needs by that Dark Binding. Jumps away. Does still have the flash. There's the equalizer by Ethan. Here comes the Soul Shackles, only hitting Needs actually. Here comes the engage by Pacific Esports on to Diamond. Oh my gosh, Meme will actually almost die. Needs gets the kill onto him, but while that was happening, B2 dies to Eben. Here comes the engage onto Eben. Luxuria in the backline just taking a lot of damage, putting a lot of damage onto the members of Diamond. Eben, will he die? Yes, he will to Astarte, and now Nage, will he die? A follow-up. Oh my gosh, that Q follows him to infinity and beyond, and that was a 4v5 clash with the 4-for-1 exchange in favor of Team Pacific.
Yeah, and meanwhile Oni was able to pick up that turret inhibitor and actually a Nexus turret, and at the same time, like, we did see that team fight in the top lane, and part of it was due to Batum and the Gnar ultimate, but the other part of it was mainly due to that Luxuria positioning. Luxuria had amazing positioning throughout the fight. He was full HP the entire time and was able to like auto attack freely without any interruption. So really good play coming in for him.
Alright, like you've said before, very nice way to utilize their team compositions by Pacific Esports, giving them a almost a 4,000 gold advantage against Team Diamond. was Team Diamond in the early to mid game, but now Pacific Esports were able to turn the game into their favor. And the point of contention will actually might be the Dragon in about 1 minute and 20 seconds for them.
Yes.
But also, it actually might be the Baron because Oni did get the bottom inhibitor, and then that's the farthest inhibitor away from Baron, so the pressure is there coming in from the super minions. But now, here goes B2 going on to Meme. There's the equalizer by Ethan. Very nice choke point right there. Pushes back Luxuria and B2. Wow, that equalizer, you really have to respect it. B2 gets a little bit caught out, but flags and drags away. And while that is happening, Needs is actually in the bot lane, split pushing again. They are really just focusing on the split push.
This was actually a really good play by Batum. Batum actually forced the equalizer and that Sejuani ultimate 40 seconds before Dragon. So because of this, this will be pretty much an uncontested Dragon for Pacific, and that will be their 4th Dragon of the game. And it might even be their 5th. They might even be able to pick up that 5th Dragon before the game ends.
The oh so good aspect of the Dragon. They have their Dragon Balls and now they have to go Super Saiyan.
Yes, gotta get that 7 Dragon Ball and turning it into that wish, man.
Yes, and while that is happening, Ethan putting a lot of damage onto Needs with that Super Galactic Rumble. And while that is happening, the members of Pacific Esports are hammering down onto this Baron, but here comes Team Diamond for the counter engage. Will they be able to turn the tide of battle? Right here, there's a Dark Binding, misses by an inch. Here comes Needs for the just looking into the face of Eben and Nage. Oh my gosh, Pacific has started against that Rampage. Here comes Nage in the backline, but Luxuria bursts him down with the auto attack. Oh my gosh, here comes Meme in the backline with the permafrost double kill. Here comes Ethan in the backline, just putting that Spitfire on to the members of Pacific. Whoa, what a beautiful cataclysm by B2. He actually divides, I believe, JD and Meme, and Meme had to use his Q to get in. So wow.
So yeah, that was a really unfortunate.
And, Oni might get the kill.
Oni got the
yes,
kill.
He got the kill onto Meme, and there's a. Actually, there comes the instant replay. Please break it down for
so we
us.
do see that. Here comes the Gnar ult coming in. Astarte did manage to get that Tibbers onto Eben, so Eben was out of the fight. However, the thing to point out is, meanwhile during this fight, Ethan's ult and Sejuani's ult are like seconds away from popping up, and we do see that Meme will use that Sejuani ult right about now, locking up 2 members of the team, and this allows for Ethan to get that Flame Spitter and allows for Sejuani just do so much damage onto them. That W does a significant amount of damage. Batum got split from his team trying to get the kill onto JD, a bit too greedy right there, and as we speak, Ethan's ult comes up as well, zoning the 3 members of the team, and this allows for Meme, JD, and Ethan to just clean up the rest of them. So,
and there you go, you see that Cataclysm actually blocking out Meme.
Yeah, so the ults just didn't connect for that Pacific team, and the ults just came up at the right time for the Diamond team.
Yes. But I think if if Diamond got their ultimates faster, they might actually have won that clash. Just in my opinion. And while we were talking about that, they did get that 4th Dragon buff for Pacific. Only 1 left for the Super Saiyan Dragon buff, the aspect of the Dragon. And the bottom inhibitor is actually almost about to respawn, so the pressure from that will be mitigated. And this will allow actually Team Diamond to try and contest the Baron if Pacific Esports tries to go in on it. Here comes B2 going super aggressive, but he gets caught out by 3 members, forced the flash out of him. Here comes Oni in the backline, but Needs gets caught out with that Dark Binding, but here he comes. Will he ultimate? There's their 3-man ultimate by him, follow up by B2. Luxuria is in the backline, putting a lot of hurt. Oni gets the kill onto Meme, but while that was happening, Eben is getting a double kill, and now they are starting to push back. Astarte taking a lot of damage. Will he die? Luxuria gets the kill, but Ethan forces to flash in and try to get the kill. Here comes Oni. Will he get that slow or the proc, from the Muramana? Nope. Ethan does that. Oh, actually he does! 1 more hit! Eben, is now flashing away for his life. Half naked against that let's say techie champion. Alright, I'm gonna stop now.
And yeah, with that, Oni is now pushing towards that Nexus turret. The second Nexus turret will be destroyed, and he is looking to end the game.
He is now expecting the Nexus. Will he be able to do it? Sorry. But while that's happening, Luxuria is actually just going in onto the top lane. Oni is running for his life, does have that Triforce proc too. Wow.
And there's a crit.
The burst from Eben shreds 1/4 of the HP of Oni.
So yeah, that fight back there at the Baron Pit, it was looking really in favor of Diamond at one point. Batum went a bit too aggressive. He didn't have his backline damage coming in. Luxuria and Oni were pretty far away from all the action and were pretty zoned out. However, Luxuria and Oni just really strong. They just have so much damage at this point and they're still able to clean up despite Batum and Nids just dying really early into that clash. So it's I don't know, it's a pattern I've been seeing, is that Batum seems to be really aggressive with his initiates and seems to force Pacific into those clashes. And while they may not be the best engages, Oni is there to follow up and has that damage to follow up despite the
very true, very true. While that's happening, there's the Dark Binding onto Needs with that follow-up Q, slows down JD by an inch. Here comes the Righteous Glory by Astarte. Just used it for the speed boost, and 5 members, or sorry, yes, actually 5 members will try to do the Baron Dance for us. The ritualistic Baron Dance.
Yeah, we can't have a LoL game without a Baron Dance and someone throwing, so hopefully we get to see one this time.
Yes, because Baron is a point of throw, because sometimes teams do try to overcommit to it and then just get an ace for them and then the enemy team gets the win.
Yeah, looks like Pacific is starting that Baron right now. They do have quite a bit of damage with that Luxuria, Nids, and Oni.
Yes, but now here comes Ethan with the teleport in, and oh my gosh, he gets caught out immediately by Pacific. There's the Zoyas from him. Luxuria gets the kill onto JD. There's the equalizer, doesn't hit anyone, and Batum and Needs are just far away. The 2 tanks of both teams are just hammering down. There's the flag and drag by Batum, dodges the damage from Nage.
But Nids is backdooring.
Nids is backdooring in the bot lane. Here comes Luxuria, but Nage will get the shutdown onto him. Nids is doing the expecting. Will he be able to do it? Ethan is here. Eben is here. I don't think he will. He is just dying so much from this. Oh my gosh, he was able to jump away, and will they be able to get him? Oh, so close! But Nage with the recall back into distortion
and
mitigates that pressure from Needs and the ace for Diamond.
That was a 5-0 in favor of Diamond.
Yeah.
So once again, it's a pattern that we're seeing over and over again. Batum diving in, leaving his AD carries, everyone just leaves the backline without any peel. Astarte is going for the dive as well, and there's no one protecting the damage dealers, Luxuria and Oni. We saw Oni got left behind in that Baron pit, and Eben was just able to kill him in like 3 hits. The Baron was hitting onto Oni, Eben was hitting onto Oni, and he couldn't get away. He had no flash available. He missed his Arcane Shift in that Baron pit actually, and Luxuria was zoned out as well. And even though Pacific is winning, they need to be careful with their initiates.
Yes.
Diamond just has so many ways to counter engage and get the picks, so positioning, I feel like Batum needs to be aware of where Oni and Luxuria is before they engage, and Dragon is up in 30 seconds, and this might be
the hype is now. This might be the first Dragon for Team Diamond, or the, like I've said before, the Super Saiyan Dragon buff for Team Pacific. Pacific Esports.
Yeah, this will be our second aspect of the Dragon, I believe, in the Pro Gaming Series if Pacific do manage to take this.
Yes.
And at this point, with 10 seconds up, it looks like they will indeed be able to get this.
Yes.
So
also, recently, Philippine teams have actually been getting the Dragon, like I've seen before yesterday. GPL War Gods were able to get it. And here we go, Pacific Esports, no contestation from Team Diamond. They get that beautiful look at that animation. Yeah. Gives you that Super Saiyan power level over 9,000.
With that aspect of the Dragon, they will be receiving a 12% bonus to their AD and AP. I believe they will be receiving
for how long?
For 3 minutes.
3 minutes. There we go.
And they will be receiving the 10% extra movement speed.
Yes. Well, and while we were talking about that, Oni was actually, I think, planning to do a split push again in the bot lane, but the ward does catch him out. Ooh, Meme was forced to use his Q over the wall to disengage. Here comes the ultimate, only hits Astarte, but Astarte gets killed by Nage instantly. while that was happening, ooh, Oni puts a lot of damage onto JD. That was a 1-for-0 exchange in favor of Team Diamond.
Yeah, so once again, Pacific overcommitted to a fight that they weren't prepared to take. That was a bit too aggressive here, and it looks like they're going really aggressive again. Hopefully they manage to survive this.
Actually, they can, because it's already a 3v4 engaged because Naga and Ethan were trying to defend. But while that's happening, Eben is trying to hover over, but Pacific Esports with the Dragon and Baron buff already for themselves. They're, let's say, what's the good term for it? Buffed up?
I guess so. They're all buffed up.
Buffed up and ready to go, and they will start to knock on Heaven's Door in the top lane with those Hadoken minions. Oh, sorry, Hadoken Siege minions.
Yeah, Annie isn't there though, and he does not have the Baron or Dragon buff with her. So,
and oh my gosh, that damage onto the top tier turret is OP. There's the two-shot bars. Here comes Meme for the engage. 4v5 engage for both teams. Here we go. Damage onto B2 is real. Here comes Needs trying to use his ultimate. Gets a stun onto Ethan. Here comes Needs with the kill onto Ethan. Oh my gosh, Meme is trying to run for his life. There's a Q by Needs. JD with the block. Here comes Oni for the kill onto Nage. And while that is happening, Oni gets a triple kill, the top inhibitor, and this might be the game for Pacific Esports. What a game!
Yeah, 28-28 with only a 6k gold advantage, 40 minutes in. And that's the game. Pacific takes game 1.
Good game, well played. Both teams, wow. I just have to say, Diamond really stepped up, but Pacific Esports with the rotations countered out. They already, I think they already knew that Diamond had the better team fight, so they just, like you've said before, just went in with the split push and actually got a win out of that.
Yeah, Diamond had the better team fight. They were winning team fights, but the rotations coming in from Pacific were just too much for Pacific to handle. I mean, for Diamond to handle rather, and they just crumbled to that rotations. Really great play from Oni. I say Oni was the MVP coming in for Pacific. Lots of damage with that Ezreal mid. I was surprised to see Ezreal mid be so effective in this game.
Yes.
And wow, that push at the bot lane is pretty much what set Pacific up for that win. Taking that inhibitor and Nexus turret while they were all fighting was huge for them. And
yes, both teams played really well, but like we said before, with both teams playing really well, only one mistake will break the game for either one of them. So guys, what do you think about the first game? Very back and forth in my opinion.
Yeah,
congrats
definitely
to Pacific Esports for winning, but nice try for Team Diamond for getting that early advantage in the game.
Yeah,
wow.
And with that, Pacific will get 1 point for this. And if they manage to win the next game, they will be walking away with 3 points, and that will put them second in the league.
Yes.
And meanwhile, that will actually place Diamond once again in the bottom of the ladder in that 8th place position.
Alright, so guys, that was game 1 in the best of 2 series, Pacific Esports versus Diamond. What do you think? You can post to our Twitter account at PGS. Tweet what you think about the game. Let the GS and the pro players know. Who do you think had the better engaged, had the better team comp, or who's your favorite player? And again, after game 2, it will be
watch and win promo.
Yes,
so guys,
for you guys,
make sure you watch game 2 and stick along, as we will be having the watch and win promo. Your chance to win 500 RP. First 5 winners to answer the question that will be posted on the PGS Facebook group, Facebook page, I believe.
Yes,
will be walking away with that 500 RP loaded directly to your account. So
yes, very true.
Yeah,
also,
make sure you stay there and
it's
watch.
Really important to get the 500 RP because
there's so many skins coming.
Yes,
out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Warring Kingdoms, Nidalee, the War Kingdoms, Katarina.
My favorite is the Arclight Bear. Arclight
Arbiter, I think. Arbiter?
No, they changed it to Arclight.
Arclight.
That is the Arclight Bel'Koz.
Yeah,
that's
actually
really
looks
amazing.
like a Protoss if you play StarCraft. Yeah. Alright, so guys, that's all the time we have for game 1. Stay tuned. We will be back after a short moment of this break. To reintroduce ourselves, I am GS Asteroid with an I, and alongside here with me is
GS Me.
And we will be right back.